This report was made in order to determine potential futures for a country like Catalonia. So what we did is we had conversations with experts in different fields. There were some 30 experts across 15 different fields that were selected because previously we knew that they had some insights on some experience, some expertise on the subject. So it was just conversations with them, and from those conversations we distilled results that we organized in a report. But probably the most interesting thing is that we did not copycat directly what they said, but we mixed what they said with whatever we have found around the world related to the subject. So it was a sort of combination of insights from in and insights from out, and that makes the result quite interesting, I think. As you said, the report was organized in three main blocks. It was resources, how with these resources we generate value, and how this value has an impact on society. In total there were 15 main subjects, main fields within these three large subjects. And some of them are quite, I will say, obvious, like what we do with water, what we do with energy, etc. So there are problems that are common to all societies across the world, and others are more specific. So if I have to choose, I will choose sort of things that are just in the middle of these obvious things and very specific things. For instance, one thing that was quite relevant for me was how we address the immigration issue. That's an issue that it's becoming a problem all around the world, especially in Western countries, because of the approach that we give to this situation. And one of the results of the report is that it will be critical to change our mindset to make immigration a positive thing rather than a negative thing as it is usually presented. So how we discover that getting people from other parts of the world is part of the solution to our problems, depending on how we do that. So that's one issue that is controversial. Maybe nobody will be in accord, in agreement with that, but I think it's one important result, how we convert immigration into a positive thing that impacts society. Is probably the most prepared country for future is China. And because it's exactly what they've been done for the last decades, is having a vector for the future, having exactly what they want, and organizing resources in order to do that. I'm not saying that the political way to do it is the best way. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, from the society point of view, probably this combination of freedom and dignity that we all want, maybe China is not the best place in the world to find that, but from the point of view of designing the future, so determining what future do you want, that you want to be leaders in this, leaders in that you want to have these infrastructures, etc., probably because they have a political system based on long-range planning, they are the ones that are inventing the future. So, I mean, it's quite an interesting question because I don't know whether we can say there is a specific country, there are specific people or the specific organizations that are one step ahead in terms of future thinking in different parts of the world. Even in the United States, obviously there are many people that are already living in the future, right? But if you want a general answer in terms of countries, as you said, I will say that there is a place in the world where the future is invented right now, and this is China. And this means that we should devote more time to understand what's coming on in China, especially from the science and technology point of view, not from the social point of view, but from the generation of value from science and technology. Obviously, China is the way is the thing to study now. Probably one of the easier things to do in terms of future thinking is exploring what others are doing. I mean, it's, as I said, it's a paradox that we have hundreds of reports that are being produced around the world in terms of future thinking. Nobody can read everything. So I will suggest that one very simple tool nowadays is using artificial intelligence to summarize all this. So, I mean, I've tried that, and it's quite amazing. I mean, you use versions like ChatGPT-4 or other systems that are much more sophisticated, and you just put there some reports, and you ask for the synthesis or the summary of what they say, and in a matter of seconds you have the common factors. So the first very simple tool is using artificial intelligence to summarize reports made with a lot of thinking, but that could be unreadable because you don't have time to do that. So that's one thing. The other thing is how we analyze in a more systematic way the complaints of citizens. I mean, people are, I would say, are complaining about things that we do that are not filling their needs. I mean, people are saying that. I mean, I'm sure that if you go to any single unit in a government doing a specific task, there are complaints from people that did not get what they were looking for. So this is what we do in private organizations. We are now focusing a lot on compliance of complaints. So how we respond to these complaints in a systematic way, right? So we comply to respond to complaints. In public organizations should be the same thing. So what is that citizens are telling us that this process is not working in order to change that? So the way to look to the future may be through the people, because the people is already changing faster than we are. So it will be quite interesting to see that by fulfilling the needs of people that are complaining because nowadays those needs are not responded. So by responding to these people, actually we are inventing the future. So you are in a way having two tasks at a time, looking at the future and responding to people. Dare yourself. I mean, do things that are probably will say daring, things that are not the normal thing. Try new things. Generate an environment where trying is the normal way of doing things. I mean, either you invent new things or whatever you do will be relevant. And your job is not just follow a process or a routine. Your job is make society work. So I remember that some decades ago I did a project for this organization, if I remember well, where what we said is that the role of public organizations is to generate the conditions for society to be much more to work better. I mean, that society are more able to do things that generate value for people. So how you generate these conditions? This means infrastructures, this means prices of energy, this means education. So there are many things that you can do from the public organizations and from politics and from the government in order to make those society more fluent and more able to transform itself. So my recommendation will be either there or fail. I mean, there is no other way to solve the new problems of the world than the willingness to try new things. And if you don't have this mindset, I mean, at the end of the day, you will not feel whatever you are expected to do, which is generating this context for a society to progress.